Hello, my name is Mondorim, and today I want to welcome you to my pep talk about why Tempest is the most garbage unique in the entire game. This is because it guts basically every single druid build in the game. You just throw on Tempest and the build is good, and the build can push high tier content. This is completely wrong. I know some of you will not agree with me, but I personally have not dropped that item at all. I'm level 100, I have played 50 additional hours, maybe even 60 additional hours, and grinded over 100 nightmare dungeons afterwards. I dropped basically every single unique that is available for the druid multiple times, except the Tempest and the unobtainium drops like Undariers. But if I want to push Nightmare Dungeon 100, I'm either locked in a really unintended mechanic using build, like the barrier build, that deals like millions, like 80 million damage, constantly while being invincible with enough DR, or I am going to push 70, maybe 80 nightmare dungeons and cannot progress any further, because the base class, at least the lightning and the poison trees, are completely garbage. And even the earth tree and the werebird tree are not that good. They are mostly clunky to play and require uniques to be good. The druid class is just exceptionally reliant on those uniques, because those uniques exist. The class is designed with those in mind. But if you don't drop that unique, the class is gutted. Like one example is the Kronstaff slide build. When you slap a Vasily on it, you can suddenly push like 10 to 20 nightmare dungeons higher, because it unlocks a specific node, the masochistic one. When we look at this one, like for example here, this one gives you infinite sustain. It is not possible to get the sustain without that unique, so you need Vasilis for the earth builds. Now the same is true for the lightning builds, and you can extend this by looking at poison builds. I'm currently optimizing a blurred beast build. This blurred beast build is quite good. I can handle myself in Uber fights, and I'm just learning the fight. So maybe in 2 hours, maybe in 3 hours, I can manage to kill her. But I cannot push high nightmare dungeons, because I am not using the Tempest helmet. The Tempest helmet, for example, makes it possible to use your hurricane to instantly and completely heal yourself, because each and every single tick of the hurricane will heal you. And it applies the poison stacks you get from the base damage of this skill. So you have an exceptionally high stacking poison stack on every single enemy in the pack. So you can just spam your blurred beast and jump from enemy to enemy to deal insane amounts of damage. Tempest makes poison builds much better. Now when we look at lightning builds or tornado builds, the same is true. Slap a Tempest on it and it gets immediately better. It's like they designed those things with Tempest in mind, but made it exceptionally rare, to the point of frustration. I have no safety net to obtain this item, despite it being extremely important for those types of builds. My solution to this? Make Vasilis and Tempest a keystone. It would limit the power and make it accessible to me and other players without having it dropped. Another keystone right here. This would prevent me from picking the other powerful choices, like for example Urban Might or Strength or Blue Beam Ferocity. It doesn't matter. You would be locked into picking Vasilis or Tempest as a keystone. Now what this would mean, they could safely buff all those lightning skills, all those poison abilities, all those earth abilities to a higher base value, without making the class completely insanely broken. That's my biggest gripe with the druid class right now. If I want to recommend a build to someone, I need to, tell them it's not going to work without those uniques. You're not going to push high nightmare keys without those uniques. And that's true for basically every single build except one. The Earthen Bulwark pop can push high nightmare dungeons because it's currently abusing an mostly unintended mechanic based on the damage scaling of that pop. And you can then go low life, and the DR you get from just boots, like for example those boots here, have a 40+% damage reduction on them. You can get this one on your pants. You can stay at the low health value of 35% or below and get a permanent 70% reduced damage taken while you're injured on the shield, on the barrier, that you reapply constantly. Now you can extend this one to Trample Slide, for example, to get that DR and be basically invincible, because you're constantly having that Earthen Bulwark reapplied on your build, and it's exceptionally strong and you deal massive amounts of damage and you just speed through the map. but that's two builds. Two builds that don't require a unique. Lightning Storm builds, Tornado builds, any poison build that wants to push high tier corruption like 100 or even 90 requires Tempest draw. If you are not relying on the crutch of Earthen Bulwark, you need Vasilis. Because you need that sustain, you need that heal. Those two uniques should be keystones, available to everyone. And the base of the class should be buffed. So that's for the video. Tempest draw is just too strong. I don't want them to remove the item, I just want them to make it something to be part of the class. So they don't have to worry about people just picking the Tempest draw, any keystone, and just scaling through the roof. Because currently that's the case, and that's not fun game design. A ton of people are locked out of this unique, cannot get it, and those lucky few that got it at 50 or 60 or 70, you are the exception. Most of my viewers, like down in the comments, there are hundreds of people that do not have the unique and grind to level 90, grind to level 100 and just quit the game because it's not fun. I cannot target it. I cannot just say, well, I will get that pinnacle boss cleared like 5 times or 10 times or 100 times. I don't care. I know it drops there and want to get that item. Anyway, thank you for listening to my pep talk. Tempest draw is currently a way too good item for it to be essential to lightning and poison builds at higher nightmare dungeons. I'm not talking about Uber Lilith, because I'm certain you can clear Uber Lilith with a poison build without that item. You can clear Uber Lilith on a tornado build without that item, maybe, I'm not entirely sure. But a lightning build, for example, with Lightning Storm, no shot. You don't have enough sustain to really get through that fight. Any shapeshifting build? Good thing. But human builds? Tough luck. Anyway, see you next time. Make sure to comment, tell me what you think, subscribe, and see you next time. Bye.